In our last story, we met the valiant Princess Pingyang warrior who commanded her own army, whose love was etched in loyalty and sacrifice on the battlefield. But tonight, our tale shifts from the thunder of war to the profound quiet of the study. This is the story of Ban Zhao, the woman who didn't conquer with a sword, but with the silent power of her words, forever shaping the narrative of an empire. During the Eastern Han Dynasty, a time of great prosperity and intellectual pursuit, Ban Zhao was born into a family steeped in scholarship. Her father was a renowned historian, and her brother Ban Zhao was a literary genius who embarked on a monumental task, compiling the Book of Han *, a comprehensive history of the Western Han Dynasty, a record of the empire's unparalleled glory. But tragedy struck. Ban Zhao passed away, leaving the colossal work unfinished, a magnificent story with its final chapters unwritten. The scrolls lay silent, waiting for a hand to continue their tale. At this time, Ban Zhao was a young widow, a position that often meant a life of seclusion and sorrow. But she was a Ban, and in her veins flowed the ink of her ancestors. With a courage as fierce as any warrior's, she stepped into the vast, echoing halls of the imperial library, not to mourn her past, but to build a future for history itself. The emperor, recognizing her extraordinary intellect, granted her the unprecedented honor of completing her brother's work. Night after night, by the flickering glow of candlelight, she devoted herself to the task. Her brush danced across the bamboo slips, its strokes as graceful and precise as flowing silk. She didn't just write, she researched, she edited, she breathed life back into forgotten events, and she began to teach, her wisdom drawing in the brightest minds of the court. One day, a young, ambitious scholar named Ma Rong was assigned to assist her. He was brilliant, his mind sharp as a newly forged blade, but he was also impatient, eager to make his mark. He arrived at the library, expecting to guide the widow, to lend his youthful vigor to her quiet work. Instead, he found himself being taught. He watched, mesmerized, as she navigated the complex labyrinth of historical records with a serene confidence he'd never witnessed. Her wisdom wasn't loud or demanding. It was a calm, steady river that smoothed the sharpest stones of his arrogance. He saw how she commanded respect, not through authority, but through her sheer mastery and dedication. The dusty, silent library became his classroom, and she, his most profound teacher. One evening, as the last rays of sun filtered through the high windows, he watched her write, her focus absolute, her presence filling the cavernous room. He spoke, his voice barely a whisper, filled with a newfound reverence. Lady Ban, when you write, it feels as if the entire world holds its breath to listen. Ban Zhao paused, looking up from the scroll. A gentle, knowing smile touched her lips. She didn't look at him, but at the towering shelves of records that held the memories of generations. History listens to no one, young scholar, she replied softly. It is a relentless current. We can only hope that our humble efforts allow it to remember the truth. Her words were simple, yet they resonated within him, reshaping his understanding of ambition and legacy. As days bled into seasons, their shared work wove their lives together. The rustle of scrolls became their private language, the scent of old ink, their shared air. His initial respect for her intellect blossomed into a deep admiration for her spirit. And that admiration, in the quiet intimacy of their late-night studies, slowly, inevitably, deepened into something more profound, a silent affection they dared not name. Their connection was a meeting of minds, a shared passion that grew beneath the watchful silence of the ancient scrolls. It was a love as quiet and powerful as the history they were writing. But the imperial court was a world of rigid rules and unyielding traditions. Love between a respected court historian, a widow, and a promising young scholar was a story that was strictly forbidden. Their silent love was a beautiful, dangerous secret, and as their feelings grew, so did the risk of it all coming undone. Join us next time as we continue their story and see if a love written in the margins of history can ever find its own chapter.